Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Long-awaited video today. We're going to talk about the 48-10 Phoenix Suns. Absolutely crazy what they're doing this season. They made some nice moves at the trade deadline, acquiring Tori Craig, who was a part of their team last season, played in all of their playoff games. I love the offseason moves they made. I love the trade deadline moves they made, and they already had one of, if not one of the more complete rosters in the entire NBA. So welcome back to the channel, man. If you guys are new here, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know down below in the comment section right now how far this Phoenix Suns team is going. I think at the very least, the furthest they go is the Western Conference Finals. This team very legitimately, very realistically could make the NBA Finals once again, and they could very realistically win the NBA Finals. I want to talk a little bit about their acquisitions that they made from last season to this season, and it all started kind of with Javale Mcgee, who I don't think the league, first off, the league doesn't give any respect or any love to the Phoenix Suns. They are statistically by far the most clutch team in the NBA. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton. I mean, these are all-star caliber basketball players right here. They have a solid bench. You got like Cam Johnson shooting 44% from downtown. Monty Williams, one of, if not the, I don't want to call him the top coach, but he's definitely one of the top coaches in the NBA. You could 100 billion% make an argument that he's the best coach in the NBA. What do they not have? What do they not have? If this team stays healthy, they legitimately can make a big impact. But I want to talk about Javale Mcgee, who you really kind of see his impact, especially when like Ayton's out. You see, I mean, kind of Javale Mcgee come into the starting lineup and is able to maybe not like replicate exactly what Ayton has, but he has his own certain skill set. I mean, Javale Mcgee defensively is an absolute beast. So it all started with Javale Mcgee, picking up Javale Mcgee in the offseason. And then Tori Craig, I think, was just such a big mid-season acquisition. You know, also want to give love to Aaron Holiday, who I've seen some people say he's going to be Campaign's replacement. I've seen some people go as far to say as he's going to be Chris Paul's replacement. I think that's kind of jumping the gun a little bit there, though. But there's a lot of potential there, Aaron Holiday. But once again, you know, he's playing behind Cameron Payne, so keep that in mind. But Cam was a huge reason for a lot of their success last season, particularly in the playoffs. Just brings a nice little scoring threat off of the bench. Not a crazy, you know, efficient shooter or anything like that. You know, I think he's shooting 33.3% from downtown this year. But it's definitely serviceable. Tori Craig is a guy who, like I said, played in all the postseason games for him last year. And the reason I'm huge on Tori Craig is because I go back to that Clippers series. First off, Tori Craig, the whole playoffs. I mean, he guarded Giannis for a little bit. He guarded LeBron James for a little bit. But specifically in the Clippers series was when Tori Craig really made a huge impact. And apparently Chris Paul, well, first off, apparently Jalen Smith's agent wanted Jalen in a better situation where he'd have more of an opportunity. But then also you factor that in with apparently Chris Paul told the Phoenix Suns that he wants Tori Craig back on the roster. And apparently that's what happened. And so Tori like just completely shut down Paul George in the playoffs last year. I mean, obviously with a superstar like that, you can't. It's not like, you know, you're gonna hold Paul George to 5 points or 6 points or anything like that. But shooting splits wise, just efficiency wise, Tori Craig did a phenomenal job on Paul George last season in the playoffs. So going out, getting an acquisition, getting more guard depth, a guy like Aaron Holiday, and then just getting another perimeter wing threat in Tori Craig, who he can still provide you with some offense. I think he's scored like 8 points in the 3 or so games that he's played so far for Phoenix. He knows the system. He's played with these guys before. I mean, it was a perfect trade. It was a perfect trade. And, you know, Jalen Smith had a lot of potential. I think personally, former 10th pick in the draft, but Phoenix right now, their window is, I mean, their window isn't Chris Paul, but you are definitely trying to, you know, utilize and maximize Chris Paul being on your roster, still playing at this level, because you never know when he's either, you know, he could leave, I guess, but I don't think Suns fans are really worried about that. But, you know, mainly just kind of not necessarily retirement, just kind of, you know, falling downhill. You know, just getting older, getting up there in age. It's crazy. Chris Paul, LeBron James. I mean, they're both still playing at such a high elite level. Devin Booker, like I said, I think he's shooting 60-something percent, might be 60, 61% in the clutch. You have extremely clutch players on your roster. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and then throw in Mikal Bridges. I mean, he's really improved almost every factor of his game. Mid-range, great three-point shooter, great defender. You pair him up with Jay Crowder playing that 4 spot, nice little stretch 4. Jay Crowder is huge because, first off, defensively, he's so good. Jay Crowder, defensively, you're not trying to mess with him. But I think what I like the most about Jay Crowder is just kind of the edge he brings. Like, ever since he's gotten to the NBA, he's just got that edge. He's got that, like, chip on his shoulder where you're not going to mess with him and get away with it. You're not going to mess with any of his teammates and get away with it. And he's going to let you know. He's going to let you know. Love how he chirps. He's always talking. Great leader, great, not really veteran, but veteran presence on the team. So, starting lineup, Phoenix, same exact starting lineup as last year. It's gotten significantly better. Devin Booker just went on an absolute tear in the last couple of weeks here. Their starting lineup is one of the best, if not the best, just starting 5 in the entire NBA. I think, honestly, I think when you really break it down, let's say you have every player on every basketball team is healthy. I think Phoenix, they're just so complete. They're just so complete. It's crazy. The bench, campaign, Landry Shamet was a great off-season acquisition. Cameron Johnson, Tori Craig, JaVale McGee. These are good moves. These are great moves. They really rounded out their roster from last season. There weren't any like crazy gaping holes with their roster last season, but they went out, they got more veteran presence, championship experienced players, guys who have been in their system, guys like Tori Craig. Go out, you make some more small time, low key moves for depth purposes. Like I said, Elfrid Payton, he's only played, he's played too many games this season for him, but saying that, God forbid an injury goes down to campaign or Aaron Holiday, I'm feeling really good about having Elfrid Payton. I think Monty's just coaching Elfrid really well. Elfrid's always kind of been like, a gritty dog, but he hasn't played too much in Phoenix, but when he does, I've really liked the impact he has. I think you could argue he can't really shoot the ball, so maybe you don't play him over campaign. But Dario Saric, when he comes back from injury, I don't know if that's going to happen this year. I don't think that's going to happen this year. Is that happening this year? But Mack Fireball, another nice mid-season signing. Sign him to a contract, get him locked in for the rest of the season. It's just all those small moves where, you're basically, it's like insurance. It's just nice insurance. If something were to happen to, DeAndre Ayton, JaVale McGee, they were to have to miss, a handful of time, you feel really good about having Bismack Biyombo, kind of fill that void for however many couple of games, couple of weeks, whatever the situation may be. Whenever Biyombo's playing, whenever he started, whenever he's getting good minutes for the Suns, they're playing well. And so right now they're on a 7-game win streak. Obviously we have the All-Star game tomorrow night. I think all the dunk contests, all that fun stuff's going on tonight. But Phoenix, whenever they play next week, they're gonna look to continue that win streak. And 48-10, man, this really might be the year that Phoenix gets it done. And it's so crazy. A couple of years ago, Phoenix, it wasn't that they were bad by any means, but they were way younger. They just didn't have the same rounded out roster that they do now. And man, Phoenix, scared team. So comment down below where you see this Suns team finishing. Hit the like button, hit that sub button. That's it for today.